Face front true believers, welcome to issue 135 of the Pitch Nerds. We are the weekly show where a couple nerds assemble to bring you the latest nerdy news, reviews, and occasionally pitch things, talk rumors, and meandering conversations. I'm Cap, and joining me today is always best friend, fellow nerd, and anti-fascist, Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys? I'm still setting up stuff, but it's been a fun morning so far.
Oh, God.
Um,
Have you ever wanted to, rewind the week and just find a way to just remove that week from existence? That's been this week. It's been terrible.
I've actually had a good week. A friend of mine, a 90-year-old guy, he wrote a cookbook.
Oh, yeah?
And he needed help laying it out. He offered me a little bit of money, but
Yeah.
like I was mostly doing it as a favor, but hopefully it's looking good. It's what's it called? I should know because I'm working on it all week. Cooking in your 90s or something like that. I'll post a link when it goes live on Amazon, and you guys can check it out. It's kind of like a funny little book about cooking
in your 90s.
When you get older.
So
yeah, but
is there a whole page dedicated to toast?
No, it's more like the cover. It's like the weirdest arrangement of food. It's like bananas and some like ham and then like cereal or something. It's like really weird. And then it's like a lot of his recipes. It's like he doesn't like cooking, so it's just like it's like how do you eat without making food? You order pizza. It's pretty funny.
That's funny. My goodness, what do we have going on this week?
Obviously, we'll be talking about nerdy news, but sadly, Ben Potter passed away.
Yes, we'll be talking about that.
Historian. So we'll talk about him a little bit, as well as The Boys just dropped. I want to talk about the musical we saw, which was Let's Put the Christ Back in Christmas. That was genius.
Absolutely great.
And then also we'll talk about it more, but from the creator, also he did the Rogers the Musical from Hawkeye.
Yep.
And that was Christopher Leonard's. Give me 1 second. Okay, our tweet is live.
Also,
and then
Battle Nerds, we will be pitting Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith, versus Zatanna, the Unbeatable. I'm going to do my best. It's up to you guys. Let's see here. We did change up our Behold Nerd, so we're going to move Princess and the Frog to next week. Mr. Frosty hasn't seen it yet. Really phenomenal movie, especially it's so pretty. But anyways,
which movie haven't I seen
The
yet?
Princess and the Frog.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. So yeah, we'll be reviewing that next week. We're gonna do Ben's dramatic reading of No Man's Land, parts 1 through 7 this week. And then we'll do Princess and the Frog next week. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
And
then I can send you to the link to the Splash Mountain thing, and you can be like, that seems like how do you guys fuck that up? Hire us, the Pitch Nerds. We'll fix it. We'll get it square. We'll get it right.
I don't think I've been on Splash Mountain in God knows how many years.
I love Splash. See, I'm spoiled because I have easy access to Disney, and I've been a bajillion times. It's not that far from where I live, so it's funny going for like the bajillionth time versus the people who have been there for the first time. They're scrambling to go on everything, and there's that panic, that theme park panic.
Oh, I've been a lot, but I live near there. But
I love Splash Mountain.
It used to not be insane.
Yeah.
To go, like it was like, oh, you're a SoCal resident, pay like $25, and you're like, yay. So and now it's like you walk in, they're like $175.95, please, and you're like, probably more now.
And that's on a cheap Tuesday because they have the fluidity with pricing depending on demand. God. Anyways, my goodness, shall we dive into some nerdy news? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first bit of news, I touched on it briefly, but I thought let's start with something kind of sad, and then we can move into happier things,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it more in Behold Nerds. But as I just mentioned, Ben Potter passed away.
Mm.
You guys might know him as Comic Storian.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a lot of people know him as Benny. He was one of the early kind of creators in kind of YouTube comic book scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is YouTube was very different back
Back
when
then.
he started.
Right.
He started along pretty much same time, I think, as Comic Explained. Obviously, they're buddies.
Yeah.
I recommend checking out his YouTube video. He has a in memory of
Yeah.
Potter. As far as I know, it's a car accident. There might be more to it, but his wife, Natalie Potter, basically said that. So, I mean, let's keep it at that. The only reason I kind of question any of that was because of what I heard from Comic Explained, but it doesn't really. I mean, it's sad. We've lost someone who is
A fellow nerd.
But he
paved the landscape.
advocate.
He introduced comics to normies.
That's what I mean. Not even just normie, like even people like me. Like I watched. So for me, well, first off, let me read how we found out. Is Natalie Potter? She posted online. I'm just going to read the beginning part of it. 2 days ago, on June 8th, my husband Ben Potter passed away in an unfortunate accident. To many of you, who's comic story and voice stories across multiple different mediums to his loved ones, he was one of the best and most supportive individuals anyone could ask for. Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah. For me, like, this one hit me really hard, and I hear a lot of, you hear people pass away and you didn't know them, and maybe they're celebrities. I mean, obviously Ben was somewhat of a celebrity, but I spent years in dialysis.
Yeah.
And that's like 6 to 8 hours 3 times a week, and it's miserable. And I would watch his videos. He got me through it. Like,
right.
Here's someone I've never met, never spoken to, but he's been there for me. And like I said, he's such a good advocate for the art world. We just lost such powerful kind of force.
Yeah.
For comics, for everything. I mean, the people that know him best, if I'm hurting this bad, I can only imagine what it's like for them.
His dramatic readings are great.
They are fantastic.
So, hold on, let me close.
Well, I mean, so what was your kind of first?
Hold on.
How did you get?
Hold on, say that again.
So, how did you first find him? Get to know him? Or what's your memory of it?
So, I would like to actually probably mostly researching the show, just doing my research. So I'd type in, because you've read a lot more comics than I have, but I'm familiar with the story arcs. So what I like to, and we saw this here with No Man's
Land.
Yeah, No Man's Land, which is essentially the Arkham games in a way. You can see how Nolan
the
kind
Arkham games are based off.
Yeah, and you can see how Nolan also got Liberty's inspiration from this also. So it's cool to see where it all kind of stemmed from. So, but it's cool because I like Rob with Comics Explained. Like, he'll sit and he will for hours break down everything. But what separates Rob from sorry, what was his name? First name?
Ben Potter.
Yeah, Ben. Was that Ben did the voices? And that's cool. So you can. It's sort of like ambient noise.
Ben does a lot of stuff, but yeah, I think a lot of us know him for his dramatic reading.
Yeah.
Critically read the entire book.
Yeah. So
rather than having someone sit there and explain it to you,
you can
you're in the story.
Right. And for me, who hasn't read all of them but knows essentially the basic overarching of each story. It's cool to have that. Like, there are days where it's like, okay, I want to listen to well, here's Thanos, and Thanos just blah 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 versus, oh, so we come past this and da da da, and just the two different tellings of the same thing. Yeah. If that makes any sense. So, Um, yeah, that's more than likely because it's one of those things where once I start researching, like, okay, I'm going to subscribe to that. I just sort of everything kind of blends in a little bit, but I always watch his content. It's great. So it's been a busy week, so it hasn't really sank in till like yesterday when I was like, oh shit, we lost this guy. And I think it was because I saw the reaction video from Comics Explained, and then when I finally watched, it's like a 20-minute video.
Yeah, I
Oof,
couldn't watch it without.
it hurts. Like, but anyway, yeah. So, and that's
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it was just through all the medical shit, all the stuff I've been doing, the times when I haven't been able to even stand up
yeah,
because I had heart disease and everything like that, and even sitting in the hospital going through the transplant and the recovery and everything.
yeah,
Ben's always been there for me, and I love the fact that he has been teaching others about, and people have discovered it. He's touched so many lives.
yeah.
I don't know, like when I saw it, it was just can't be true. Like this one really sucked.
You know what? There's always been. I mean, there used to be, and now it's become acceptable. But there always used to be a taboo with comic books, and once the internet became a thing and YouTube started to build up its momentum and the creators started to come in, they started to take all these things that most people would think, oh, that's stupid, and be like, no, check this out, blah 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 blah, and just it's cool. They helped introduce people who wouldn't normally want to sit and read everything, but just it's a different means of communicating the source material, I guess. Where some people won't read the comic but would enjoy hearing somebody say it or say it out loud.
I think a lot of people, though, like, I mean, the thing I've seen is a lot of people discovered comics because of him, or like maybe they watched the MCU.
Yeah,
because he was coming up right when the MCU got really popular.
yeah,
and then they find him, and then oh, this is cool,
yeah,
and then like because he's kind of like reading Rainbow in a way.
yeah. That's funny.
He changes the stuff, and you only get like bits, so
Right.
you're encouraged to go and find the books yourselves,
Right.
and yeah, I mean, it really did grow the hobby. As soon as I on Twitter anyway, all these people were going like I know he's the reason I like comics. He's the reason I like this character. He's the reason this. And yeah, it's just. I mean, that's the one thing you can take some solace in this. I mean, there's it's beautiful just how many people he touched. I mean, how much he meant to people.
Yeah. You sort of have to look at the impact, and
yeah.
I mean, God, tragic car accident. That sucks, man.
We will, in memory of him, we were going to be taking a look at The Princess and the Frog, but we decided to switch to Ben's dramatic reading series. One thing the series that got me back into DC was No Man's Land. I've never read the whole thing because it's so freaking huge. I've read, smatterings here and there.
Right.
But I thought we'd. And I'm not even sure if you've read it or not, but
so I haven't, and that's what I like. I'm familiar with the premise and the archetype just from being immersed in this type of culture for so long. But because it is so massive, to have somebody like this who'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to read this for you," and while you're cleaning the garage, you can hear me essentially read comic books and do comic book voices while you're cleaning the garage. Like I like it for that. I see our Dark Lord and Savior, Lord Brimstone.
Yeah.
Meow, meow. But anyways,
yeah. So we'll be taking a look at No Man's Land as dramatic reading series in just a little bit. But if you guys, Ben, or you want to check him out, let me post some links, and then also. I mean, feel free to leave a comment or message us on Twitter and share some of your stories. I'd love to hear them. And what maybe some of your favorite videos he's put out. Yeah. I'm going to keep crying, so let's...
I know. Well, here, let's... I'm going to take the reins really quick while you're getting that set up. Folks, I am happy to announce that in the corporate universe of soft drinks, there is a new number 2. I'm happy to report that, the top is Coca-Cola. Number 2, like a distant second, is Pepsi. Pepsi has been usurped by none other than the good doctor himself, Mr. Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Apparently people like more of a spiced drink nowadays. I grew up, I didn't really like Dr. Pepper that much. I didn't hate it, I just didn't drink it that much, and something happened in my adult brain where it's like, oh my god, this is the best beverage on the planet. So, good job, DP. Yeah. And now the news.
Good job, DP. Poor choice of words.
Shh. Moving on.
Hang on, I'm just gonna put his YouTube channel up in case anyone wants to.
While you're finishing that up, I have some box office reports from Inside Out 2. Apparently, it's phenomenal. I haven't seen the first one.
Haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it.
You know what we should do? We should have like a Behold Nerds where we just sort of cherry pick all the Disney movies that the other hasn't seen yet.
My favorite part, because the inside is that's the one where they go into the heads, right?
Yeah, it's Herman's head, but
but the dad one, like the wife is talking to the daughter. The daughter's the main character or something.
Yeah.
And then the dad's just sitting there eating, like not worried about it. Everything's just like in his own head. And
Right.
the guys are in his head are just chilling around. They're talking about the game or something. And then like one of them like realizes it's like, oh no, the wife's looking at us. What do we do? What do we say? And then they're all trying to like figure it out. And they're like, yeah, let's go with this, execute and stuff like that. And like it's so funny.
That's funny.
When they get it right, they're all like cheering and stuff like
It's like my head. Yeah, so it's doing very well, and I'm glad it's getting good reviews. This might actually trigger me to watch the first one, because I didn't really have any interest in the first one, not that for any particular reason, just like whatever. I was just sort of like,
It was a good film. Like honestly, I it's not one I would have interest in either. But like, sometimes you're just chilling, you pop on Disney or whatever, and you're just like, oh, I haven't seen that one yet. And you put it on, and you're like, oh, that was fun. And I mean, it's fun to the point where it's like even my language, like when something cool happens or something, like I'm just like, oh, I think I'm forming a core memory, like, and that's the.
that's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, so the next bit of news I have, if you're good.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So moving on to kind of happier things. Well, I'll tell the story. It was kind of funny. But the big news is Christopher Leonard's composer, songwriter for The Boys, Rogers the Musical, Sausage Party, Lost in Space, Horrible Bosses, Agent Carter, to name a few.
Right.
He is now a fellow nerd.
Yes! We can do this all day.
I posted something like, so after I saw the first episode of The Boys, I made a joke because we'll get to it when we talk about it, but they have Vought on Ice, and
So
in the show before, like, it ends with just brutality and
Right.
stuff like that. I was laughing my head off, so I posted, I was like, Vought on Ice is way better than Rogers the Musical, and like, and that was it. Then the following day, not Rogers, they actually released the video for the full Vought on Ice. So you can check it out
I need to check that out.
Oh yeah, I posted it.
I haven't checked it out yet.
So you can see the whole thing. It's great. I love it. But anyway, so but then all of a sudden I got a message from someone that says, I think they're pretty decent. Did you know the same composer wrote both? And I was just like, and my brain didn't follow.
Yeah, your brain did. I saw the response. Like, okay, there's
and I was
the
just
Frosty
like, I was
brain.
more making a joke. One ended with blood and carnage. I actually think both are fantastic. I own a Rogers the Musical too, thanks to you. Yeah. And he said, and then he goes, I'm just happy you watched both. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks. And I was like, wait, Wait, click, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and I was like, and that's what I said to him. I was like, oh god, he hates me now. This is horrible. So then I tried to fix it, and I'm like, I'm just kind of blown away. You noticed my comment made my week. 'Cause it really did.
You scared him away.
And then like, and then the whole time I'm just like, I fucked this up. And but then he responds with like, you know, the horns, and then he responded to another message where I reposted it. I was like, someone nerd out with me. And then I just saw he follows this, and he's liked a couple of our posts since. So thank you, Christopher Leonard. You fucking made my week. That was like the best moment. I'm sorry. So it's funny. We've been talking. Has Been Hotel and things like that recently. There's a therapist, and she breaks down all the characters and stuff. And it turns out the one that has the same issues I do is Lucifer. I guess because we both suffer from depression and stuff like that. She's talking about it where he's like practicing what to say, and he said something, he says it wrong and stuff. And I guess, and he's like, yeah, people with depression, they practice conversations over and over and over and over again in their head. And I'm like, I do that. And then when I actually try and say stuff, it comes out wrong. And I'm like, yeah, that happens to me. And then you start freaking out. Like, all it takes is me to message you once, and then you don't. I'm waiting for you to respond, and I'm starting to get anxiety. I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, Cap hates me. We're no longer friends. This is over. And then just runs into depression.
Oh my god, I don't even want to explain.
Turns out Christopher Leonard didn't even notice, and that's what the therapist is saying. She's like, most people don't even notice.
Yeah, it takes a sharpened brain to notice those things.
It's such a good moment. If you haven't seen it though, he just did the VOD on Ice. He did a full release thing, so you can see the whole thing. It's let's put the Christ back in Christmas. It's so good. I like it when they're like, what was the line? It's like, doesn't matter if you're Sikh, Hindu, or Jew. And then it's like, as long as you believe in Christmas is for you, as long as you believe in otherwise you go to hell or something like that. Like, it's so funny. I was just dying laughing the whole time. I've watched the official release of this thing like easily 20 times. This is my summer jam.
How long is it? How long is the full on Ice thing? Like 20 minutes?
3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Let me post for those of you guys that want to find Christopher Leonard's. I'm gonna go ahead and post his links and stuff. But yeah, we'll be talking about The Boys, obviously, later on when we get into reviews. But yeah, this was the best day. I had so much fun. Thank you so much, Christopher Leonard, if you watch this. Hey, if you ever want to come on the show, man.
Oh my god, please. Oh yeah, my goodness gracious. Anyways, Has Been Hotel, I'm the snake guy. I'm that guy. Just
yeah,
and the fact that he's a snake kind of makes sense, and it's just it's weird, and Hell of a Boss does the same thing where each one deals with issues, like really deep issues.
He does it. So there's a therapist.
Actually, link me to that. I'd love to watch the breakdown
I'll
of
have to find her. She's super interesting, but she takes a lot of shows. Has Been Hotel, The Boys, you name it. So she's a huge nerd, and then she dresses vaguely like one of the characters. Like I saw her Black Noir video.
That's awesome.
And she sits there and explains from a therapist. Peacemaker's another one. She breaks down and explains the what they're going through and everything. My question is, like, I wonder, do the writers do this intentionally, or is this just something that happens? Maybe a little bit both, but it's super interesting.
It's like the depth of these characters, like Homelander specifically, because I've been doing my own therapies, and after this last episode, I'm thinking, oh my god, I think I know what's wrong with Homelander. Like, oh god, I don't like the similarities there, but I can. The actor of Homelander, I don't know his name, but phenomenal actor. Just with the tics and the isms and just those little weird.
Anthony, what's his name? I know his name. It's Anthony. I'm trying to do too many things and my brain's shutting down.
Yeah. But he's such a phenomenal actor, and if Game of Thrones, House of Dragon season 2 tonight. Remember that?
Is it tonight?
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
tonight.
it was coming out later. Okay, cool.
No, that starts tonight.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that back. I was really impressed by House of Dragons, which is, I had written Game of Thrones off. Like, I mean, I don't like to talk bad about other people's art, but I just season 8 just kind of, I was like, okay, I think I'm done. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And then House of Dragons came out, and I was like, oh wow, this is fantastic. So
the prequel we deserve.
yeah, let me see. Anyway, there's his links. You can follow him on Twitter. And once again, thank you so much for liking liking, commenting, everything. It really made my day. Yeah, there's been the whole thing with the boys, their marketing campaign, everything. They showed one of their actors, the guy who played the multiple guy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he played Shakespeare. Now he gave the holiest of performance.
He's got the thing through his head.
I took it as him doing the things with the holes, like where they're just like,
yeah,
that's what they meant by holiest of performance.
Pink eye. How did they film that?
I like that when he's like, this is what it looks like, and they just like close the door. Like, just like, nope.
It's such a good show.
Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. So there you guys have it. Comic Story as well as Christopher Leonard's. Check them both out if you haven't, and leave us comments. Let us know. Also, let's try and figure out, because he was like glad he thought they were both decent, but which is the better music? No, I'm just
smash.
Yeah, they're so good.
So good.
The one thing I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for all the people not to realize Let's Put the Christ Back in Christmas is satire.
Wait, what?
Yeah, although I have a feeling that everybody watching season 4, there's a lot of people out there that like turned on The Boys and they're like,
this is making me uncomfortable.
It might be about us.
God, what was the line? Oh God, I forgot the line, but when they're going down the whole trying to cancel superhero something in school, superhero books in schools.
Oh yeah, critical superhero.
Yeah, critical superhero theory. So stupid. Like that almost sucked me out of it, Frosty. That one line right there almost shattered the whole structure of The Boys for me.
That went a little too far for you. The one when I'll save it because we're gonna keep going. The Boys is just so good. It's just, I have to say, this has been. There's other shows I like as much as The Boys, but The Boys has been a week-long experience of fun for me.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just every time I turn on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, something from their marketing team comes through, and it's just so much fun. I like the fact that Todd's been killed, and then he's been killed on Twitter as well.
Right.
And
his mom said
it's so funny. Like they did such a good job with this.
They're just having whoever is at Amazon is having the time of their fucking lives doing this, and they know it. They have the best jobs on the planet.
I included a link to Let's Put the Christ Back in Christmas.
Cool.
The full video, so that'll appear in the chat in just a minute.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll talk to Boys later because I think we won't shut up if we keep going. So let's get into the rest of the news. Once again, thank you, Christopher Leonard. That was awesome. Russell Crowe responds to the negative Marvel comments that Dakota Johnson made during her Madam Web press tour. Did you see any of her?
Yeah, it was lackluster. It was funny. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so he goes, you're telling me you signed up for a Marvel movie in some fucking universe for cartoon characters and you didn't get enough pathos? If you're expecting this to be some kind of life-changing event, I think you're in this for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I try not to judge other people. I can imagine that, like...
Hey, I've been cast in a Marvel movie as Madam Web, who's just like a Spider-Man. Oh, my God! And then,
I just think people are being. I think yeah, the movie didn't work, but there was some cool. And sometimes projects don't work. You know,
yeah,
that's what happens.
yeah,
But there were some cool ideas in there. I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with her performance,
right.
and I don't think there's anything wrong for. I think people were very mean to her, and so I understand where Russ Crowe's coming from,
Mm.
but I don't know if I necessarily agree with him. But it is when I read it, it made me laugh. I will
Mm.
say that. I got another one. This one, and I'm not even going to try and because they'll come out as horribly racist, so I try and read it like him. But Wesley Snipes,
Mm-hmm.
he comments on the ongoing development issues that
With
Marvel's been
Blade
having
5
with
or
Blade.
with the Blade movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blade, lordy, lordy, lordy. Still looking for the secret sauce. Ridden snowmobiles in traffic, kinda rough. Daywalkers make it look easy, don't they? I don't know what that means. I
You,
was
you
up
just said the
until
code that activates a sleeper cell in like Siberia or some nonsense. You just spoke that.
I was I was up there until ridden snowmobiles in traffic, kinda rough. If someone can explain that line to me, I mean,
Wesley Snipes, please come on the Pitch Nerds and
yeah.
explain that. So I've heard about this. So apparently the Blade movie they announced it 5 years ago, and there's been no movement on it. They've been having
No, there has. They've tried to like remove it back, and their actor they're like by the time he's like 50 or something, and they've rewritten it several times. They
yeah.
fired
So
people.
yeah. So there's been talks that because apparently the latest director was fired or not fired but just left the project.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, Michael B. Jordan was seen, or not Michael B. God, who's the one that did uh, the recent movies, the horror movies, with the brain swapping into the.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Key and Peele.
Yeah. I think,
Key.
yeah, I think either him or Michael B. Jordan were spotted in Marvel, and there's talks because there's been, you know, so many changes with the script and whatnot and
Well, look,
directors that he could be.
the thing is though, sometimes when you're working, like we were just saying, sometimes you're working on a project and it just doesn't come together for whatever reason.
Right.
And I think this is just that case. I don't think there's any problem with making. If what Wesley Snipes is saying is it's impossible to make a good Blade movie other than him. Like yes, sir, you have the best Blade movie, no question.
But it's
You
also the only
have
Blade.
the only Blade, movie,
Right.
yeah. And I mean, yeah, you got the formula right. Like Blade kicking ass. Like let's get more.
So
of that. But
apparently, this is a rumor from about a year ago. There was issues with the recent script where Blade was sort of like the fourth lead in his own movie.
they were talking about doing that with Spawn, making it more. I can't remember the names of the two detective characters.
Yeah.
Making them the main characters, and then just having Spawn like in the universe.
Treat Spawn like a cryptid, but I don't think that works for Blade because Blade is just sha. Like you want, I'd want that in a Blade movie.
I think we might need to do a quick pause. Yeah,
All right.
can we?
We're going to take a
bathroom break?
quick pause. We will be right back. And we're back. So anyways, we were talking Blade, Troubles, and a very cryptic message from Wesley Snipes.
I get they're still looking for the secret sauce. It's just the ridden snowmobiles and traffic. I don't know what that means. But anyway, Blue Beetle. Which did you see the Blue Beetle movie, or did you skip that one?
Didn't see it. I know my youngling saw it and she enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It might be on Max if you ever.
I think it is.
So that was a good film. I really enjoyed it. It didn't go as high. Okay, there were weird stuff like him being like, "Oh, I can't kill," and then like his grandmother being like, "I'm gonna murder everybody." Like, his family didn't share his response.
That's funny.
But I still think it was a good movie. But I thought that was probably going to be the end of it. But no, it turns out they're making an animated series. It's going to serve as a continuation for the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I saw a thumbnail for that. I saw a thumbnail for a Blue Beetle thing, so that's probably what they were talking about then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it going to be within the Gunverse or no?
I don't know.
It doesn't need to be. It's Blue Beetle. There's enough.
I think I know first we're getting Creature Commandos. That's coming out pretty soon. I can't remember exactly when, but I know that's the first.
I think that's
to come out.
fall.
I thought it was it might be September. Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, and then it's gonna lead into other stuff. I'm excited. I think it'll be cool seeing Creature Commandos.
I've never heard of
I've
them.
Never seen a gun movie I didn't like. I mean,
I haven't seen the one with the evil Superman kid. I heard that's probably the weakest of his movies, but everything
it wasn't bad. I mean, I still enjoyed it. Like, it's a horror movie. He made a horror movie.
Yeah. I love Slither. Slither's great. I love Super.
I love Super.
Super's good. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy is phenomenal.
He did do a story in that movie 42 or whatever.
I never saw movie. Did I see movie 42?
Don't. Because it's not.
I heard it's terrible, but there's so many good actors. There's so many actors in it.
Yeah, there's this big story behind it. I think they were basically just calling in every favor and stuff. The opening joke with Hugh Jackman, where it's on a date and then he takes off his scarf and he's got a scrotum hanging from his chin. That one is actually funny. And I guess he used that clip to get everybody involved. But it's so funny. He's like, yeah, I'm really self-conscious and everything. And she's like, oh, thank God, because he hasn't mentioned it yet. And then he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, it's fine, but what's going on? If I can ask, he's like, yeah. And he's like, I got cut right here when I was and he's like, oh, is it cold in here? And they're like, it's the dumbest premise, but it's just done just right,
Right.
And then she's just like, look, what's going on? Because she can't even bring it up to him. And there's this other girl, and then she realizes that she's on a date, and so she's doing the mean girl thing at her, and she's oh my. You don't find out at first because he's got a big scarf on.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I bet mine's softer than yours, and he takes it off, and she's like, wow, that is.
It's just
this is ball sack.
Or in Men in Black, it's a ball chinian.
Then you're great. Don't watch any more than that.
I will watch that one scene and just leave the rest.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. There's some other funny stuff, but not really. It goes too far every time. There's a scene with what's her name, Halle Berry, and they keep trying to they're like, I dare you to do this, and then there's a kid's birthday party, and they've got the candles, and the kid's about to blow it out, and they walk, and then they walk away, and it goes too far. They're like, surgery, and then they got these big CGI lips and stuff like that.
Nah.
When a joke gets ground into the dirt.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of the Seth MacFarlane Cavalcade of Cartoons thing that he released, years ago. It's just
I
series
remember
of just
that.
like little.
I actually thought that was okay, but
Yeah, it sort of reminds me. I didn't know that's what it was, but okay. Because I saw, I remember the trailers and thinking, wow, this looks like it could be really good. It came out a million years ago,
the,
but then
the Princess and the Frog one was just that one had me dying. Yeah, she's like, "You're one of those princes. I kiss you, and then you turn. You're a frog. I kiss you, turn into a prince." He's like, "Well, actually, you have to."
yeah,
He's like, "How come you didn't turn into a prince?" He's like, "I don't know what to tell you." It's so fucked up. His sense of humor is just so dark.
I love the Wile E. Coyote one because it's such a long bit for such a funny little ending. You remember
Yeah.
that one? Where he finally catches the Roadrunner and then he just loses all purpose in life and is just following him trying to rebuild his life.
You know that I was thinking. I don't know what made me think about it, but do you remember when we were pitching Mario and I decided to go Peach?
Yeah.
And you were just like, I don't know. And then we had the He-Man thing afterwards, and you're like,
Mm.
this is what would happen.
Mm.
And I stand by Peach because all you have to do is call it Peach. And then I was thinking, you know what I'd do
Mm-hmm.
is I would then do Luigi,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd finish the trilogy with Mario.
Ah.
You see?
And weave everything in. Okay.
Yo, because remember, yeah, just have each and then because her story was her coming into her own,
Right.
and then do the same thing with Luigi because it's always been in Mario's shadow,
Right.
and then they find Mario from another galaxy, and
Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember why that connected in my brain, but some and then I was just like, but
Something about a thing.
well, I can't. What were you even saying before that?
I'm
That's
just
what-
as high as you, Frosty. Anyway.
Deadpool and Wolverine is
Oh,
tracking
yes.
open
200. Go ahead. 200
200
million?
million to 239.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is. Now, that's all contingent because I was listening to John Campia talk about this the other day. It's all contingent on whether or not it's good or not. Because it can come out and be just a massive, just. And I think if that's the case, it'll get really high first week and then die.
It'll still get a much higher first week than it will. Because Marvel, that tends to happen. They tend to be front heavy.
Yeah.
Because people like to see them before they're spoiled.
Yeah.
And then also it's. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it'll have a faster drop off.
If it's a bad movie, but
Yeah, and I never like to say, oh, there's no way it could be bad because I've been proven wrong so many times. But I mean, I'm comfortable with Ryan Reynolds and
yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
So, and I think so. I've been listening to a lot of the back end stuff of the production, and it seemed like the biggest issue that Feige had with this movie was something related to the third act, where you're supposed to be following Wolverine through all the decades of war, and it was supposed to be like super, super, super violent, and apparently Feige had to put his foot down and say, no, you have to tame it down because it's too much.
It's the cocaine. Everybody knows that's the issue.
Right. But so it's funny that they address that in universe like that. That's funny. But so other than that, and of course, at one point there's talks of like an Elseworld, like She version of the MCU coming in to beat up Deadpool, and that
I would see them not wanting to do that.
Right, but that's funny. Like,
it is, but
and I think I had something like that because I did a Deadpool pitch, and it's funny because it looks like there's some parallels between what
the only way I would do that is if I did it like we keep talking about of a Christopher Leonard style. I would make it heavy satire.
Right,
I
of
would
course.
Make the idea of the MCU, like people who believe that to be true, I'd be like, this is what you think is happening, seriously.
Right.
Like I would do it that way, just like, but
add the layers to it. That's what makes it smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's hard though. A lot of time, because in England, you talk about you speak satirically, and then but you don't laugh. You just do it with a straight face. And then like when I moved over here, I struggled a lot because people thought I was serious, and they were like, you shouldn't. I'm like, we live in a world where it's sometimes hard to make satire because people think you're not being satirical, and it's like you have to explain like. I don't know. It's weird how it's hard to be like that. But like you mentioned, House of Dragons. You said it's coming out tonight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, we'll check that out for next week, right? You're gonna watch it, right?
Oh, of course. Mrs. Cap is elated. She really loved season 1.
Okay, which is funny because she didn't really like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so you know what? She loves the dragons. She likes that sort of thing. She likes the kind of dragon fantasy aspect. You didn't really get a whole lot of dragon. I mean, you kind of did, but this is more like the mounted
Because remember
riders.
we were talking about like because I was like, okay, because this is back when Game of Thrones was amazing,
Right.
and I was like, well, Game of Thrones, and then she was like, well, I'll just watch what was that other one, the serious one that was out at the same time.
Oh, which one?
There was a dramatic one. It was like Henry VIII or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I was like, that. There's dragons.
Well, one of her main areas of love is Tudor history, and she.
Oh, that's what she likes.
Yeah, she really, really, really loves Tudor history.
Yeah, I've had many conversations about histories with her. She's also really weirdly into the Civil War.
Yeah.
The United States Civil War.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's House of Dragons. So tonight, but it's also being renewed already for season 3.
I wonder how many seasons we're going to get it. I mean, because obviously it's going to play up until it can segue into Game of Thrones. So.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think Game of Thrones, you guys are done.
Well, right. But I mean, you're telling the prequel, so the prequel's going to lead up to.
I mean, this like hundreds of years before that.
Yeah, but you're still gonna. You have a lot of seasons. You have a lot of mythos, and they're gonna bring it. They're gonna Rogue One this shit. We're gonna see the passing of the baton to Princess Leia, and that weird CGI'd face that looks good for a couple frames, and then weird in other frames. And it's gonna end with
early on in the tech.
I know.
I think people are unfairly harsh against visual effects nowadays because, like, you go back and like,
I mean, they're pioneering though.
I watched the '90s Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything's normal. It's a cartoon, but for some reason they do this weird computer generated VFX thing, and it shifts into that perspective, and you're like, "What is this monstrosity?"
It's showing up in tech, bro.
No, but
Start tech.
like, but when it comes to like VFX, though, it's like, we look at a lot of comic books, right? And like, yeah, like there's like the Louis Royos of the world that are just like, oh my god, you're a genius. And then there's people like, me, I can kind of draw, but you're still like, oh, that's cool, like you did a good job.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, like, but with VFX, it's like, unless it's Louis Royo, people are like, no, it sucks. And you're just like, that's got to be the hardest industry to be an artist in. Like, you have to be like tippy top tier, and then you get paid nothing.
Of course.
Anyway, so yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to be the biggest opening for an R-rated movie, and they think it's going to be one of the biggest box office openings ever.
So they're thinking it's going to easily break the top 5. It's slated to usurp Last Jedi. Good.
I can see why. I'm really hyped for it.
Yeah.
So Derek Connolly, he wrote Jurassic World. Apparently he's writing the script for Transformers G.I. Joe crossover movie. You know what? Like, if putting him at it, I'm kind of more okay with this now, because he is very much like you took Jurassic Park, which is basically unbeatable,
right?
And then he made Jurassic World, and he's just like, I'm just gonna be like, and then the thing's like, and then like pew pew pew, and then she's like, oh, no.
Running in heels.
And then, he just has fun with it. Then he's like, what if the T-Rex joins forces
with the raptor to take out the bigger thing, and then they like,
and it does. So you put this guy in charge of Transformers G.I. Joe, and I'm just kind of like, I can see it, yeah.
So if I were to be given the keys to this, so when we did our Transformers pitches, and you gave us probably one of my favorite pitches of all time,
thank you.
we never explored with the mass shifting that Transformers do, where you can get a little goober like Soundwave to turn into like a 50-foot fucking robot with all the features. So, but then again, in the Bayverse, we had like the little Transformers. So I mean, there was always that level of this could be a thing, but it'd be scary if this phone can turn into like a 30-foot monster and like particle cannon the neighborhood. So play with that, but introduce G.I. Joe. I think that'd be cool as fuck, because they can be fighting a thing and all of a sudden it rounds a corner, it transforms, and all of a sudden where the fuck did it go? Where did this giant fucking robot go? It's right here. Where did it go?
Look. I respect the Transformers, and Grimlock is one of my favorite characters in fiction. Here's the thing.
He is king. Grimlock is king.
He is king, yes. But all the Transformers are screwed because all Duke has to do is be like, call in Snake Eyes.
Yep. Snake Eyes has taken out, I think, Starscream in a comic for sure.
I know, but I mean, I would trust Snake Eyes to handle Unicron for me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, we're gonna do this.
He's just gonna solid snake inside the bowels of fucking Unicron and find like the chamber. God, what?
I mean, when you're picking your teams,
yep.
He's gonna go like, okay, Lady Jade, you go with insert Transformer. You go with
go with RC.
Grimlock.
You go Bumblebee and Wheeljack.
Yeah. And then he's gonna go Snake Eyes. Yeah, you got Unicron. Yeah.
He just.
And he's gonna pull out a katana.
Right.
And then later you're just gonna see like Unicron. And they're like, oh no, Snake Eyes. And then he's gonna be standing right next to them.
Right.
Because he's freaking Batman, For some reason, though, I don't care.
It's okay with it works with
Snake Eyes gets a pass.
Since he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk.
What if we just make the plastic character? We'll just make it all black, and we'll just call it a ninja. And it was their cheapest toy ever, and everybody. So the fact that the cheapest toy ever is the biggest badass in fiction, I just love.
Yeah. And you know what? It's usually because of dumb things like that, dumb little quirky things that they just wouldn't even think about, and all of a sudden, holy shit! Let's give him his own movie.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about it. This is interesting because we're talking about the boys, but Time has named Homelander their superhero of the year with an exclusive interview with Homelander himself. And yeah, you can go pick this up. He's the superhero of the year, and there's an interview with Homelander. It's so funny. I don't even remember it, but it's like, why are you so fantastic? And it's like, wow.
How many people are going to be self-aware of what they're actually talking about? That's where the real comedy lies right there, is how many people will look at this and be like, huh.
Yeah.
And just not connect it.
Yeah, good satire is just great. I mean, it reminds me of Colbert Report, but it's so good. I don't know. My brain is just so weird. In my head, I'm doing this because I'm like, oh, that feels good stretching. Then I'm such a nerd that I'm remember Guyver? Remember he had blades coming out of his elbows? I'm like,
So at work, every morning I have 2 big white trash cans that or big trash bin, big plastic trash bins that we use to dump the ice. Now, every time I'm holding 2 of these, I'm like, get ready to crumble! And I start going, brr, 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 brr. Because in my head, I'm this guy. Because, I'm holding the 2 trash cans, and I went up to one of my bosses the other day. He was a bit privy to my weirdness, and he is all sports brain. I try to quote Futurama, and he's all, Futurama, that is the animated thing, right? And
He's a sport nerd.
Right. So it's like my brain, but with sport knowledge, is what he feels like. But no nerd knowledge. So I did this in front of him, get ready to crumble. And he just looks at me what the fuck are you doing? It's like, Transformers? Rumble? Soundwave? Just
My
silence.
favorite that Screen Junkies channel. They had an interview with a model, and then they're like, it was like, sort of reminds me
Mm,
about a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
mm.
And then like the model is just like looking at him confused, and he's like, Star Wars, and then she was like, oh, that was that Natalie Portman movie, and then she's
The,
not wrong.
the butler Albert.
Yes. Well, let's talk because we're probably going to go into the boys a lot. But we just had this morning My Adventures with Superman.
Yes.
I like how they're following, they're stylizing it so heavily animated. There's so many like Dragon Ball references. You see Supergirl show up, and if I get the number wrong, I apologize.
Mm.
But she's Android 18. I think that's the number.
Yes.
And she's dressed exactly like her.
Mm.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like they really, because that before they showed Mr. Mxyzptlk, and he's like, he looks like the little imp dude from Dragon Ball as well.
A little bit.
And like, it's just so funny. Like, and the style is very anime. You know what I mean? Like characters like overreacting. They're like,
Yeah.
she's all lights. Psh, and
And the fireworks and everything.
Yeah.
Again, that almost took me out just a little bit.
No, I mean it's
No,
great.
but it works. It works.
Yeah. But yeah, this this episode, his cousin's called. There's some rockiness between Lois and Clark. I'm not worried about it though.
No, not worried about it.
They just need. It feels like they just love each other anyway. Like
they're so caught up with everything, doing everything.
Yeah, but I can see what she feels because he's Superman.
But she's also she forgot Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's both of them. They're just
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but he like.
But it's a circumstantial thing, like
But I mean, she would be if she had power. She would be her own Superman. But,
right, exactly.
But yeah, so so she shows up. She weirdly has a relationship with Jimmy, which I was like, because I don't know. Kara in many ways is my favorite because she's also Power Girl in a sort of capacity.
Right.
And I'm just like, so I'm like, no, she's mine. No, yours, Jimmy Olsen. But no, it's a weird like.
I get it. I get it.
It's cute. It's cute seeing them be like sweet to each other.
Right.
And I like her like hesitating. But I mean, the big reveal is she's brainwashed by Brainiac.
Is it Brainiac?
Is Brainiac.
Okay.
And we also see like Kryptonian armor. But you got to see her look badass. They made her badass.
Right. I'm glad that we got to see her just mop the floor out of Superman because Clark is so wholesome. God, he's such a.
Well, he unlocked a new ability though.
He got his atomic breath, which is awesome.
Not atomic, freeze breath.
Was that his free? I thought it was.
That was his freeze breath. That's why it snowed after it.
Oh, okay. That was high. I saw that. It's like, oh, this is Godzilla -1 moment here. Fucking comes. He's gonna do the.
I didn't recognize. It was a blue ray, so I can see why you're confused.
Yeah.
They did a ray battle. They actually had two of them. They tried to I-beam ray battle, but she had tech to help her out.
Yeah.
And so she defeats his I-beam, and then they tried it again, but this time he did breath weapon, and it's a blue beam of light, but then it explodes.
It explodes and then it snows. Yeah. It just now clicked on me that it was a snow, and I don't know why. Like, I know that.
Sometimes.
I mean, obviously, I know Superman has like his freeze breath, but the way it was depicted is like, oh, here comes the atomic blast. Like, that's what it looked like.
They made it an anime style.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was great.
It was more of like a ha, and less of a. Because normally his freeze breath is more of a like a puff or a blow.
Yeah.
Than like a like.
But I'm actually weirdly better with this as a breath weapon, like in some ways, because like
it looks less.
Because how do you differentiate freeze breath from super breath? You know, like you just blow slightly different, like but actually having it like a ray of cold.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense to me, but.
We're leveling up with Superman, which is great.
Yeah, but and the other was main thing of the episode was Superman was in this like eligible bachelor thing.
Yeah.
And this is where Lois got jealous and stuff like that. There's just jokes and everybody's having fun, but at the same time there's heart to it. Oh, it's great. I mean, what did you love?
No, I loved it. So I love Kira. I think Kira sort of stole the episode for me because just her little interactions with Jimmy.
Kara.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, with Kara. Kara. Just she loves ice cream, and I love just how gluttonous she was. I love how when she ate the hot dog, she didn't think to pick it up; she just face dived into it.
But the ice cream thing reminded me of Wonder Woman. She's often depicted as loving ice cream.
Oh, I forgot about that. I love that the characters have these little nuances, like little character traits that just make them interesting.
But I mean, he's not wrong. Ice cream is awesome. Hot dogs are delicious. I get all that. Hot dogs are one of the few things I think that like vegan hot dogs. Those are like pretty damn close to regular hot dogs. But that's because when you think about it, it's like that's not really meat.
Yeah, I'm very very picky with hot dogs. But anyways,
dope hot
dogs. So
but yeah, shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money. Kara's favorite ice cream is my youngling's favorite ice cream, mint chocolate chip.
That's my favorite too.
Is it?
Mint chip. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Totally mint chip. Always one of my favorite.
Nice.
It's like super refreshing, but also indulgent.
Yeah. See, the youngling likes it with a scoop of Jamocha on it, so it's like the coffee and the mint chocolate chip, so it's like a coffee.
Good. But yeah, what was else? I mean that's pretty much it. It was a fun episode.
I mean, Superman was called out by my goodness, the test pilot guy from Star Labs during the pageant. Yeah. So there's that little bit of tension, but. Were any of those people anything from the comics? Because especially the one that was like sort of flirty with him. Was she anybody specific? Okay.
I know a lot, but I don't know everything.
All right.
I'll look it up. I'll probably figure it out between now and next week. Sometimes also it's hard to. I try and watch stuff twice before the show. The first time I just watch it as a passive observer, and then the second time I watch it with my little notepad and I take notes and stuff to like figure out. But anyway, so then we also had The Boys.
1, 2, and 3.
We've already been talking about it a lot. This has been so much fun.
So good.
We had episodes 1 through 3 drop. Picked up where it ended. Mother's. That's so funny. Everybody thinks that they like recast Mother's Milk.
No, it's the same dude, right?
It's the same guy. He's got a different facial hair. That's it. And like it's like
that's
racist. People are like, it's someone else. And it's weird because because I've always had a long beard, but I remember coming into work after shaving it off, and they were like,
"Can we help
You're
you?"
Frosty, right? And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it's me. What are you? Like, what the hell's wrong with you?" Thus proving that Superman and Clark Kent can be.
Yeah. Fair. So, yeah, my goodness gracious, where do we begin with all of it?
So Mother's Milk is running the team. They're trying to take down the running mate, what's her name, to the president.
Yep.
Bill Singer. And then Bob Singer, whatever. And then, God, what is her name? She's like a major villain. Oh, yeah, she also made her daughter like a fucking terrifying thing.
Look like a...
like slicing arms off. I'm like, holy...
I wonder what her security detail has, because you know that her Secret Service people are definitely something. They alluded to it was where she's like, oh...
Yeah. Honestly, there's so much stuff here. I think we're just going to have to pick out, like, what we love.
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite character this season?
So, I actually kind of dig, my God, what's the smart chick? What's her name?
Mr. Sage, dude, she's the best.
Dude, so, here's what I think. Is she in the comics or no?
I don't know. I don't think
so. Here's what I like about her is that there's sort of a theme going on where everybody's absolutely terrified of a Homelander. And I think her...
Well, yeah, so we do see that he's like... because he says something and then they all agree with him.
Yep.
They're all having a conversation about which one to get in the team,
Mm.
and then like they name someone, they're all making talk shit about it, and he's just like, I like him. And then like, actually, you
Oh,
bring
yeah.
up, yeah, and then he's like, and then he's like, you guys just agree with me, and he's like, no, it's just you always have excellent points, and then like, and then he's like, you know what, you're gonna blow H out, and then freaking, what's her name? She's got her popcorn ready, she's
Right.
like, oh, yeah. But he doesn't. They stop. They're just like, and I was just like, is this gonna say something with the boys? That might be something we're about to see.
Right.
You know?
I love how their nudity is so graphic because they focus on the male, and I kind of love it because it's more. It's unsettling for some reason. I don't know why. It's just it's unsettling.
But,
God, especially when God, we see another.
What were you saying? So yes, they're all agreeing with Homelander.
Yeah, so everybody's agreeing with Homelander. So he shows up to I forget her name, but her apartment.
Sister Sage.
Yeah, Sister Sage. Not racist.
That's her superhero.
Yeah,
name,
not racist. It could just be Sage. I like how there's that like bit of resistance on her end where she's. But
I didn't even pick that up. That I just thought like I was like, that's a dope name. Like I didn't even connect to be anything racial. Like,
yeah. So and she sort of passively hints at it, and that's why I like it. So here's what I like. She's essentially sided with Homelander, and she's sort of shoveling his ego and telling him what to do and how to instigate like a culture war and whatnot. But I wonder if she's just doing it because she's terrified of him, and maybe this is.
I don't think because she says I think what they presented is accurate. He's like, look, I am smart enough to listen to you,
right?
And then she's like, and he's like, why don't we do what you're talking about?
Right.
And she's smart enough that she's so smart, and this is my favorite part of her character. At the end of the episode, she's laying there and she's eating
a bloomin' onion,
and she's just watching TV, and she's just.
And then Deep comes in.
Deep comes in, and he's like, I thought you were kind of bitter. Is that a bloomin' onion? And I'm just thinking like, oh, that looks dope. And then she's like, you're hot. And then they like start making out, and it zooms out. She lobotomizes herself to relax. How fucking metal is that? Like that is like it's so crazy because she has to make herself stupid enough. Right. And then you see that's why she connected to the Deep right there.
Right.
Oh my god, the Deep and his octopus.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the octopus. Like at the same time, like,
right?
Let's just disappear under the
waves. Under the waves.
Where I love him being like, you didn't clean my tank, and I'm like, oh no.
Go move in with her family by the coral reef or something. Like,
yeah, he needs to take care of her, and if he's not going to take care of her, he needs to do the right thing and break up with her.
Right.
That's what I think. But he's such an asshole. He won't.
Yeah.
He just uses people.
Yeah. I mean, the characters are so deep. I mean, pun.
I also really like Black Noir. His character is the funniest character.
So it's a stunt double, or like a. Obviously, he was killed.
Yeah. So they brought in a new actor who's also got similar powers, I guess, to Noir. And then like, but he doesn't. He's an actor because they're entertainers, is what they are.
Right.
But he doesn't understand. He's just like, I don't understand my motivation.
Right. Like when they're on stage and he's doing all the sha and Deep's like, no. Or no, his A-Train's like, yo, tone it back. Tone down.
Yeah. Like, A-Train's going through like a redemption arc.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like there's so much going on. But yeah, Sister Sage for me was my favorite character, or just Sage. I like the fact that she's like so smart and everything she's saying is true. I do wonder if she is underestimating just how psychotic Homelander is. You know what I mean? Like maybe she thinks he's like yeah, you're pretty smart, like enough to listen, but like at the same time, like his own, like you could see he's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could like override it and he could just kill her.
Right.
What's her name? The CEO. They're like, yeah, you're a mascot.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, like, and then she's like thinks about
trying to tender her resignation, but she can't because
because he just instantly like to that.
Oh, so they were trying to figure out who the mole was for Starlight, and then Um,
And then she's like, "Yeah, she called me," and then like instantly, like, yeah, and it was just like, she's like, "You didn't think I wanted to know anything else?" And he's like, "Sorry."
right. But you know what's cool is that you can see Homelander sort of mirroring Sister Sage a little bit in her tactics. Like he's sort of trying to learn how to read people, I guess. You see in one scene where he starts calling people out in the same way that she's calling people out.
Yeah.
So you see him sort of sharpening his perception a little bit. So that's scary. Oof, it's terrifying. Essentially sharpening the weapon.
I think another big part we had in this was Firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced to her character, which, like, I kind of feel like I could save her. Gonna lie.
I know you. You'll use your powers.
I just like she's that girl that like she's beautiful. There's something about her charisma that you can feel attracted to, but she is like, and she doesn't believe all the shit. She is the equivalent of the people at like a MAGA rally and things like that, and the conspiracy theorist, and like every time she talks, it's just hilarious. Like,
Right.
But the thing that really got to me was when Sage asked her, like, you know, like, what are you selling? And then she explains it. She goes, which would you rather believe?
Right.
You're part of a secret cabal of warriors fighting evil, or you're just, you know, what was it, like, you know, you're nobody that will never matter and will die alone, or something like that. And like I was like, it's like, yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
Right.
So yeah, it's so good. Oh. But yeah, and then we had the funny scene where there's like a multiple man character that go into the bathroom, and
it is a human centipede.
Yeah, we can't get too graphic on it.
Somebody gets pink eye, and human centipede. Figure it out.
Yeah, later when they're fighting, no, not the pink eye.
Yeah.
That was a very graphic fight scene.
That was pretty awful.
But no, the
firecracker. A lot of dog.
The part that shocked me was when what's her name? Starlight goes and talks to her, and then she's like, why do you hate me? And then like you hear this story of like when they were going
in a pageant,
yeah, just how dark Starlight was, like, and like
as a pageant kid,
like, that's not me anymore. And it's like, yeah, and we all have those things in us, and it's just like, and I wouldn't have believed her, but she like totally like she just like crushed. And then that's what Sister Sage said. She's like, oh, you can beat Starlight.
Yeah,
and that's why she brought her aboard, which again just reinforces why Sage is like so like brilliant. I love her character. Man.
Yeah.
And then she's got to wear the suit.
The suit. It's like riding up her.
Yeah.
But Homelander's using her as a stereotype, and he talks to her as a stereotype, and she's just sort of like, ugh. So she is putting up with it, and you know, you do see at the end where she just gets barbecued over.
What's his name? Homelander's son.
Yeah,
he does that little like thing, and then he throws the guy.
Oh, where they stage the bank robbery.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's like he was our friend.
He was like, when it comes time, I want you to really throw me. Don't worry, I can take it. And then he's crying, and his dad just does. He's like, "That's what you were upset about."
Yeah, that's fine. How many times do I have to tell you?
Oh man. Anyway, I think it's a shut up and take my money for you.
Oh, shut up and take my money. 8 bajillion%.
Yeah, this show is so great. And then obviously we had Let's Keep the Christ in Christmas. Like,
yeah. I don't remember him being in the other seasons, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan, great actor. He's in this season. He's the CIA guy who gave butcher the drugs that he puts into cookies. That I think he's trying to take out his kid or trying to knock out
Yeah,
his
yeah.
kid.
Well, so he wanted to. All Butcher wants to do is get his kid away from
Homelander.
Homelander,
Right.
and then and that guy's like, "Look, we're gonna train him
Right.
to take out Homelander."
Right.
And like Butcher's like, "I don't want that," and he's like, "Your options are this or that," you know.
Right.
And then that's where he decides, "Fuck it." I like it when like. You think he's working with that girl, and then like
He sends a picture
like,
of his butthole.
and then it's just his butthole.
Full on butthole. Like, they got away with it last season, so they're just going to keep doing a butthole in every season now of the boys. It just needs to happen. It's a butthole in every season.
It is such a visceral show. You never know what you're going to see, and it's funny because you tell me about how good it is, but you have to be like,
hold up.
Yeah,
Exploding penises.
Yeah, a dude gets strangled by a giant dick. Are you okay with that?
Right. Didn't they take out Translucent with a bomb up his ass or something?
Yeah. Like the lamplighter fight with the play Mortal Kombat. Lamplighter like shut.
So good. What else do we have going on? We had
yeah. Oh, I guess we got Battle Nerd. I gotta go get the cat. So let's take another quick break.
Quick break.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
And now for Battle Nerds. So this would be the segment where we random roll from a list of 100 assembled fighters, and we put them together in a battle of epic nerdiness. Last week we had Donatello Ninja Turtles versus Iron Man. My goodness, who came out on top of that one?
Like for some reason, like nobody voted, but Iron Man did get the few votes that we got. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as like a whole is out. We generally been picking specific turtles, so maybe next season we'll just do a turtle or something.
Yeah.
But there, so and then Iron Man goes on. That actually puts Iron Man in third place.
So this week we have.
So yeah, Iron Man is tied in third with the Terminator T-800 series Model 101, Thanos, Iron Man, like I said, and then Zatanna. So speaking Zatanna, she is fighting against. She's the god killer. She is the almighty that will probably destroy all of pitch nerds or battle nerds. Um, and you've got Vader, who just hot off a win.
Hot off a win.
Hot off a win. He defeated King Kong.
King Kong.
In
So
what was actually kind of a hotly debated one online. Like
so because you mentioned the force, the lightning. The lightning isn't what affected Vader. Vader just marched through the lightning. It's not like the Emperor was just like, lightning, and Vader was like, oh my god, I'm so crippled, like he was already at like the end of it. Like he'd already. So anyways, but here to.
Okay.
Just, so
just saying. He's a Sith monkey, is whatever, or gorilla, or like greater ape or whatever.
Greater ape. So here to avenge the greater ape is Zatanna. What version?
She didn't like King Kong. He fought the Justice League. I mean, come on.
So, what version of Zatanna are you going with, sir?
Just comic book Zatanna, the one that's been crushing all the battles.
Okay. And I'm going with.
I feel like she's the one that we have to take down.
So
but I'm not going to hold back. I'm coming after you.
Okay, so how do I think if Vader were to have to deal with this? So, God, I have the controls of Darth Vader, so I'm going to use Darth Vader the way I think Darth Vader can take out Zatanna in a straight up fight. Now, I know Zatanna needs to say the words backwards, but I don't necessarily. She doesn't need to say. Okay, it's sort of like a response to her or to the action already, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, no, I mean she's done it because like there's been times where she hasn't been able to talk.
Yeah,
it's just I think it's just one of those things like. Do I need to, in my brain, go Command D when I'm in InDesign and I want to paste a document? I don't.
Right.
Because my fingers can do it automatically.
Right.
But I still go Command D.
Right.
And I think it's that.
Okay, yeah.
She just does it out loud.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably also the style on you.
Yeah.
She is so much better than you that she's talking backwards.
Right. So.
And she can also make it a reverse of itself so it sounds the same no matter which way you play it.
Yeah.
And she can just think like that too. Like this is how
she is so stupid. So
she's not stupid.
No, but like broken stupid. Like that's what I mean. She's not stupid. She's a badass character. So how could Darth Vader take out Zatanna? If
it's Snake Eyes.
If I were Vader, and sense a disturbance in the Force, and using his through meditation and figuring out a way, he can essentially strangle people from like other solar systems. He doesn't need to be close to his quarry. He can do things.
Oh, you can do that. That's really impressive.
Well, we saw.
We didn't do that at all.
Well, we saw that in the movies. Hell, we saw him strangle Admiral Ozzel from another starship. We saw him strangle.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on the same ship.
No.
But does he have to have line of sight or something?
No.
He was talking to him.
Yeah, it just through the Force. If he wants to.
How come he didn't just go like Han Solo? Blip.
Because of writing. So yeah, but we did see this displayed in several times through the movies. We saw this when he choked out Admiral Ozzel after coming out of hyperspeed too quickly. We saw this in and the other one, fast forward into Jedi, where he sorry, same movie where again just strangling a dude from he can do that, so he doesn't need. Yeah, so that's how he would do it. Zatanna, okay, let's pretend he does need line of sight, but I don't think he does because he just can meditate it through the Force. I don't know. There's weird writing there, but he's capable of Force strangling from a distance, And I think that's how he
Okay.
takes out Zatanna, is just from a distance, before Zatanna even know what's happening, just crush her, and just all too easy. And then you can go back to sitting in his space chair or
She
something.
can like move. She can react faster than like Superman or some
Yeah.
shit.
She
Like,
she
as
reacts
soon
in
as she-
she reacts in plank time. That's stupid.
Yeah, so she feels
Starts to
senses,
feel.
and then he's there, and then like he like I don't know, like what would she do? He'd strangle, and then she'd be like, "Poof," and yeah, and he's like, oh, too easy, and she'd be like, aren't you cute? And she's like on the shit next to him,
Right.
and then she's like, blah 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 or something, and then like it's like no armor, and he's just like, poof, poof, and then, like,
He's just flopping around as a torso.
and then she like walks up to him, puts her hand on his head or something. She goes like blah blah blah, and then she like sees like
All
the
of it.
journey of Vader through everything, and then she like restores his body, and then she like takes away his pain and trauma, and then we have the Anakin that should have been, and then he rejoins his son immediately, and they stop the Emperor, and then Zatanna nods knowingly, and then they appear at the end. Like,
You see her ghost standing there during the indoor celebration.
yeah. So Zatanna wins. Like,
So there's a new Vader lore where apparently through the Force he can. And again, why didn't they do this in the movie? Because the same reason R2 didn't use his rocket feet in the original trilogy writing. So Vader now has the ability to use to generate force limbs.
okay.
So okay, Zatanna, no armor, and Vader just raw through that rod, just force, anger, rage. He can.
Hang on.
It,
I gotta
it,
see if I can.
it's like a brand new thing. I saw a dude, one of those channels, start to describe it, and it's like
Eorf on.
so we will have these polls up on
No
our.
force.
God, it's Zatanna. My goodness. Yeah, it's just a torso. It's just a quadriplegic. It's terrible.
I don't know. Maybe she goes and gets Panda Bear or whatever her name is, and like,
Yeah,
like,
Panda Malabar.
yeah, she fixes her too, and like Anakin grows up, like, and like maybe she even takes the Force away from him, so he never even becomes Anakin. He just gets to hang out with his
No,
wife and
know what she
kids.
can do? She can break the fourth wall and go to Disney and be like, "Hey guys,
No.
yes,
No. So
show off her power,
Vader-
Frosty."
This Darth Vader snap her neck instantly from across the verse,
Or even just crush her. Just pick a thing. Just crush her from a distance.
Well, the way I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
is he's like sitting there in his chair. He's like, I sense a disturbance, and then there you go.
He just appears out of a hat behind him.
Yeah, but then you see where I am, like with my argument.
She has
So
toon.
let us know.
Zatanna has toon powers. She has fucking toon powers. She has toon powers. That's
She
toon powers.
has a magician's powers, and I guess that's basically what tune powers are.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, because like she could just be like, and then blah blah blah, and then like he's tiny, and then she's like, oh look, and, like, but it would be like done like, but then there'd be like everybody like going clap 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 clap, and then
Right.
she'd be like, thank you. I mean, sometimes she can do that. That's the thing. It's she's not always portrayed as that, but I do think she could go E off on, and then E off or whatever on, and then like he's screwed at that point.
Yeah.
I guess my one thought for Vader was like what, because it's like he's born of the life force, and so it's like the life force of the universe versus what according to Dr. Manhattan is what's left of creation. I don't
Mm.
know. I think she should crush Doctor Manhattan, really. But I guess they had to have Doctor Manhattan be the most powerful person for the whole rebirth story.
Mm.
This is going way deeper than it needs to be. Brimstone, come here.
Cat.
Come on, quit being a butthole.
Cat.
Um,
Cats are buttholes.
let's see.
Let's
Uh,
let's
what time is it?
let's
Oh,
roll.
wait.
Let's roll.
Oh yeah, we need to roll, don't we? So anyway, we'll put polls up on Twitter and Facebook. You guys can vote on who you think won the debate, and we'll have the results next week.
What are we rolling?
Oh, you can. It can
D12,
be a
right?
D10 at this point.
D10. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. 3.
This is a funny one. I got Thanos. You got dan 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 dan.
Oh shit! The movie just. There's the movie.
So Indiana Jones takes on Thanos next week.
So we make a series of 5 movies, one representing each stone, where Indy has to traverse the universe to acquire each stone before Thanos.
I would just have him acquire the entire gauntlet.
Yeah.
That's the movie. But
Yeah.
completed, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That'd be fucking like Thanos has it, and all of a sudden, whoosh, and
no, like Thanos doesn't use it anymore. It's forgotten. It's left in a vault somewhere.
oh yeah.
And the movie is him getting it, and then like Thanos is like, "Oh, I sent you," and then it's Indiana Jones with his gauntlet having to fight Thanos, but he can't use it quite well.
Right.
That's how I would do it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so tune in next week. We'll have that debate, and then what else we got? We've got the let's go back to Behold Nerds. Like I said, this episode we're remembering Ben Potter, so we decided to take a look at his dramatic reading series. I picked No Man's Land. For me, this was kind of the series that got me back into DC. I can see why it's a daunting series for a lot of people, because like I was talking about it with Gus. Hey, Bernstein, come here. I was talking about it with Gus, and he was saying that it's too big. There's too many like characters and pieces, and like it's impossible to follow. But I guess when I was a kid, I had to just sometimes get comic books and fill in the gaps myself.
Right.
So I mean, even if I couldn't read the whole, I've never read the whole thing. But it doesn't matter, because there was all these cool stories set in that. It's like a setting, you know. But this is, I think he's pretty much read the whole thing. So Ben Potter did a No Man's Land series. You can find it on his YouTube channel, and Comic-Storian, and he reads comic books dramatically. And so we looked at episodes 1 through 7 of No Man's Land. So what did you think?
So I loved it. So again, I was familiar with the storyline, but never actually read anything from the series. Again, mentioned earlier, you can see where Christopher Nolan took some liberties or some inspiration from this. Definitely see where the Arkham games took some inspiration from this. So, my goodness. So we're setting Gotham City post-earthquake. No longer part of the United States.
So you're doing that. So Ben Potter, if you haven't watched it yet, he's like he is an artist in and of himself. He does these dramatic readings, and he does the voices. He does such a good job, and like his Joker is great. Like,
he does a great Joker. He does a good Joker.
And he gets really into it. I love his Batman too. I think it like he does some spot on characters. These are just gems. You can even just passively listen to them, you know. But you also get to see some of the panels and some of the art.
Yeah. So again, where I like stuff like this is I can enjoy it on different levels. I can have it on as ambiance, or I can sit on the couch and watch it and just look at the panels, because he whites out all the words.
Let's say you're not reading it and listening to it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So you can. You made me lose my train of thought. But yeah, no, sorry.
You were saying he whites out all the.
Yeah. So you can just hear him and just immerse yourself in it while you're watching it without being distracted by the words. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But
He did an amazing job. Again, this is what got me through dialysis. Like just watching, reading, listening to watching these videos. I would put them on and then just fall asleep. I have watched this whole one, but I don't think I've ever. Because again, you're there for so long, you just kind of fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm gonna watch the rest of it. But so we looked at episodes 1 through 7. What did you think of them? Did anything stand out in particular? Like,
no, it's so I enjoyed it. God, there's a lot of characters. There's a shit ton of characters. So,
well, we have what's her name? Cassandra Cain's Batgirl show up.
Yeah, she showed up.
Then we had
Huntress was there.
Huntress, and then we also have it's a Bat family story.
Yeah,
so
Barbara's there.
Barbara's there, but she's as
Oracle.
What's her name? Oracle.
Yep.
And then what's Azrael?
Azrael's there.
Azrael's there as well. He's the, for those who don't know, he took over as Batman for a while after
Nightfall.
Yeah. And
I have his figure somewhere up there on the wall.
yeah, and then so we also, and then then we have the various rogues galleries and stuff like that.
Right.
So I mean, I didn't really have trouble following it. I mean, there's a lot of characters, but every time a story is told, it expects me to know stuff, and I already do know stuff.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one that I was like you are the two stupidest humans. Like the wife, okay, she's like, let's get out of here. But the husband, what a moron. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Which part was this?
So this couple, they were there. They go into Gotham because the whole thing is it's after an earthquake. City's, so the setting it's a setting for several stories.
Right.
So the setting is Gotham is no longer part of the United States, and we see what it's like in Gotham. Everything's turned into these various gangs carving out territories. Batman's been missing. He comes back.
Right.
And he's trying to do his own thing. We see Cassie Kane. She's claiming to be Batman.
Right.
And then she ends up working with him. And so
we see all gets pissed.
Entering, and they're all, but so, and there's all these stories. So the thing is, some people are trapped there. Some people did leave. You know what I mean? But this is like what's left.
Right.
And like Penguin's doing really well.
Penguin is doing great. So there's a scene. There's a whole bit in the I think Arkham City that is like almost directly out of this comic where it's like the gladiator pit. Batman's got to fight all the idiots, and I think in the game you fought the dude with the big fucking sledgehammer with like the fucked up arm. So we got to see that, and God, there's like this big black lady that just fucking bear hugs and just crushes the shit out of. And then there's bring out the guy with the fucking blade arm. Bring out that guy. And then he goes out and Batman just kicks him and he's just down immediately. Like, so good.
It's great, but the one I was talking about is where they go into the Joker's house. They don't know they're in the Joker's house. But and the wife is just like, let's get out of here. And he's like, no, let's keep looking. And it's like, you are the stupidest people ever.
Oh my God. I think I might have gone to piss during this scene.
You didn't see this?
Oh my God. I think I might have. I don't remember the scene. Because
it was a story. It was a story. It was one of the stories.
Okay.
It was a couple. They went into Gotham to do find out if their daughter was okay and recover something.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly why, but they break into the Joker's house.
Right. Because the Joker hadn't been seen. Like all the criminals carved out their plots.
But they break into his house and they're just and it's an abandoned house. And it's just full like there's a thing with Robin and with a sledgehammer. It was like the day I won.
Right, right,
And like and like all this creepy stuff, and the wife's like, "No, let's get out of here, dear God," because you can see there's like a body underneath the fucking thing, and then like there's a room called hostages, and it's just a bunch of dead bodies, and like
Wow.
and the husband's like, "No, let's keep exploring," and I'm like, A, how do you not know you're in the Joker's house? B, like get out of the Joker's house. Do
Right.
not go in the Joker's house. And like they finally like Batman, I think, bails them out.
Yeah.
And then the husband's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got you a soda before the
Ugh.
house blew up." And then like he's like looking, and then his wife drinks it, and then you don't drink soda from the Joker's house.
And then she, yeah.
I, I I assume they were starving and that they didn't have a choice, but like yeah, but
Right.
there's all these stories, like there's one about a baby and two
Mm.
moms, and we also see like because everybody comments on like anytime you have a conversation about this series, people go like, well, why wasn't Superman? Oh, this is why.
Right. What other parts did I like? I noticed how the
So, do you
art.
remember the Superman one though?
What happened with the Superman one? I swear I watched these.
Come on, man! Like it was part 7. It was the one we ended on. It was
Right.
called Superman Saves Gotham, and Superman shows up into Gotham, and then he says, and then he's like, and then he tries to like stop the Mad Hatter and save some people, and then Batman's like, "What are you doing here?" And then Superman's like, "I'm here to help you. I'm here to save Gotham. You know, like let's fix this."
Mm.
And then he's like, "You have 24 hours. Do all the good you can." And then like Superman like goes and finds this guy, and he's like, "Hey," and he saves him. He's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I used to work at the power station." Takes him to the power station.
Okay.
How did you not see this?
No, I
And
saw
then,
it.
and
I've
then
been.
the,
So again, this is stuff that I had on in ambiance in the background. I've been tidying up the house today, so your camera.
you should have watched it. It's great. But so the power guy is put there, and he works with Superman. And he's stoked because he finally gets power on and stuff, so people can bring their stuff and charge their devices and things like that.
Mm.
And like plug in their houses, I guess. I don't know. And then Superman's like, "Oh, there's still a problem." So he goes down, he's fighting Mr. Freeze,
Mm.
and then up top, like people are like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the man with the power."
Mm.
And then like they're like, "Hook up my house first." He starts getting the crap kicked out of him, but then big guys come in. They're like, "No, we got it, boss!" And they start
Yeah.
protecting him. And then all the people start like so then Superman
Everybody
comes back,
helps.
and everybody's offering him money.
Right.
And then and so he's like, the people that offer the most money get their power hooked up first,
Mm.
and he's got like burly guys protecting. And Superman's like, "You're doing it wrong," like, and they're like, they're like, "Well, I don't how what other system works?" And like, and then Superman comes back to Batman at the end, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't. How are you gonna save this city? They're not ready." Like,
Yeah.
and like that's the dark part of it, is like Superman can't save Gotham,
And-
and Batman knows it.
Yeah. Well, because you can't really punch your way through Gotham. You can't Superman your way through Gotham's villains. They're
It's just you can't fix the problems and save the city. Now,
Yeah.
I do think, and that people have pointed out, where are all of the heroes? And the general response is they're busy.
Right.
Because I do think you could just bring in a bunch of supplies and like,
Right.
like medical, and like
Yeah.
it would cost money though. But that's the thing. This is like, because I think it does beg the same question: of why don't the superheroes like in places like war-torn countries? Because you can't necessarily, like you said, you can't punch your way through Gotham.
Right.
So I think I think it explains why that wasn't there. But yeah, go ahead. What's one that you loved? So
No, so I kind of like the moments with the Bat family more than anything, because you have this moment where Oracle feels like she's been replaced by Cassandra Cain, or is it because God, comic book names blur. There's Cassandra Nova, Cassandra Cain, right? That's her. Is that back that one?
It's the Shiva's daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But
yeah.
no. So one of those things where, oh, you replaced me and didn't even tell me, you dick, and just Batman being Batman. So I like little interpersonal moments like that. Those are
Yeah, and
savory.
Jim was just no, you're not like coming. Like, don't come to my area. Like, 'cause they
Yeah,
even
yeah,
cops have their own territory.
right.
Um, yeah, and then we also find out the penguin. Oh, there was that story with hunters protecting the
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Oh,
what do you call it?
the
The church, and
yeah.
then what's his name was there? Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, we got
then
to see
yeah,
Scarecrow, Black Mask, fucking.
you go through the whole
There's a
Rogue Scout.
lot of people, a lot of rogues in this series. Um, I
Yeah,
will.
but it's like the games.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things where you said because we already have all the knowledge on who these people are going into it, we can enjoy it. That I've seen versions of this and other things, so it's cool to see where it all sort of stemmed from and see where all the influences came from. That was cool. I'm gonna.
Yeah, like I said, this is the series that got me back into DC because
Mm,
at the time I was really into Marvel, and because Marvel's kind of what I grew up with more than DC,
mm,
and then I mean I still like DC, but then I was in college and this girl that I was into liked comic books as well, and she was like, "What do you like?" And I was like, "Marvel mostly."
mm.
And then she said, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, bummer, no, I didn't say the right one." And then I was like, "But I like DC too." And then like
This is
like
like
over eager. And then so in class we used to sit there and she knew websites where she could pull up like the entire No Man's Land thing, and so we just sit there and read No Man's Land together.
that's awesome.
She was way out of my league, and she had a boyfriend, but she would read No Man's Land.
No
When we
one's
started.
ever out of your league, Frosty. Just keep punching up. Just
Yeah,
keep
no, she's one of these
punching up.
like mythical unicorns that you rarely meet. They're like, think about it. She's instantly like comic books, and like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like,
They exist, I promise you.
I know they do, I know, but like it's amazing. Like when you meet one at like
Right.
school, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
uh, anyway, so
um,
you shut up and take our money, and then next
oh
week
yeah, yeah.
we're gonna
I mean,
do
his dramatic rings are fantastic. So I take it next week we're gonna do Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. Yeah, because you hadn't seen it yet. This was the last of Disney's
No, I haven't. Yeah.
hand-drawn animated movies. Gorgeous movie, absolutely gorgeous movie. Like when they're traveling down the bayou and just the color with the fireflies and just all of it and the big mangrove trees, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And plus, it gave us Keith David, who fan of his. He does the voice of Dr. Facilier, the Shadow Man. Cool fucking character. Cool fucking character. Yeah. Tune in then, and then we can discuss Splash Mountain. Oh my goodness gracious, I love Splash Mountain. And then they stripped all the fun out of it.
This I thought this was really cool. Super Killers, Guts. Check out his comic Super Killers on. He's on Global Comics. He's also on. I think what was the other one he was on? But I know he's on. The reason I know he's on Global Comics, I read him on the platform, but on Global Comics he seems to be doing really well. Speaking of the boys,
Yeah, he was
Global
featured next to the
Comics
boys.
recommendations,
Right.
and they put his comic book right next to the boys
Yeah,
comic.
that's awesome.
So I was blown away by that. That's got to feel awesome.
Yeah, because he's been going through a bit of a
Yeah,
hump.
you get burnout.
Yeah.
I understand. But he came back to it. People love his comic. Check it out. Super Killer's the name on Global Comics. He also gets read his book. We've done before. We've had him on the show. Oh, he's gonna come on the show again. We're gonna be doing evil protagonist pitches.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Is he going to join us for that?
Yeah, because that's his bread and butter.
Oh yeah.
So I mentioned that to him, and I was like, okay, well, just let us know when you're available. And then he sent back. He's like, let me check my schedule, and I was like, nothing. Also nothing. And so I was like, okay. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to you afterwards, and we'll figure out when we want to do that pitch, and we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
What do we got? So we got Game of Thrones tonight. Can't wait.
Yeah, so we'll be talking that next week. Oh God, TV has been so good lately. Oh, I mean, I just watched another movie that I've been wanting to see, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Oh, Ultraman came out.
Oh, fuck it! It did, didn't it? Okay,
Yeah,
because you know what? I saw because I subscribed to Netflix on YouTube, and I saw like a little like clip of it, but I didn't click on it. I saw the thumbnail for it, and then there's that little voice in my head that said, "Huh, Ultraman came out, cool." But
yeah.
it
It's
sort of
not.
like shut off, and then the rest
Uh,
of reality came
I mean, I'll
steamrolling
give you
through.
my review real quick. It is a shut up and take my money, but it isn't like I mean, it was good. I had a lot of fun watching it.
Are they
The
30 minutes?
huh?
Are they 30
No,
minute episodes?
it's a movie.
Oh, it's a okay.
Um, it's good. It reminds me of like kind of Pixar, kind
Mm,
of style movies, like and it's a superhero movie.
mm.
Um, it's great. There's an interesting story being told.
Does it have Blue
The
Beetle
art is
vibes, kind of, sorta?
what
Blue Beetle vibes, kind of, sorta, with the
kind of, but it's no,
no.
it's different. It's like so as a kid. I mean,
Mm,
I'll just like without too many spoilers. He he loves baseball with his mom,
mm,
and then his dad is Ultraman, and he finds out and he loves Ultraman. And then his dad says, "What would you rather be? Would you rather be this like famous baseball player or Ultraman?" And then he doesn't know. And then we find out years later that he's this amazing baseball player,
mm,
and like so much so that like he's like playing in the United States and stuff, and he's like he comes back to Japan, and Japan's like hell yes, like you're in the he could lead the team and everything,
mm,
but he's also back because his dad hurt himself, and so now he needs to take over as Ultraman,
mm.
and so yeah, and also like the kaiju's aren't bad guys,
Okay,
they're just animals.
like Pacific Rimish, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, but like those ones, like I mean, yeah, they show up and attack, but like he tries to just like, hey, go away,
Okay.
and like whereas the bad guys are like, kill them all, and like and so the yeah, and then he's got like an AI with him, and I don't know, it's cool. They did a good job. The main monster, this is a movie I would recommend if you have kids, watch them with it
Mm.
because there's cool stuff for you and the kids will like the cute little monster and stuff like that, and yeah, it's a fun movie. It's totally it's that's what I mean. It's not like I don't know. I would put My Adventures Superman like I like that like a lot more, but that's more my jam.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a very solid show or
Okay.
movie.
Okay. I'll check it out.
But yeah, so that came out. God, oh, I watched the rest of Has Been Hotel. So I guess I must have fallen asleep, and it just kept playing.
Okay.
I didn't remember anything, and then because I finished all of what's its name and the
Hell of a boss.
and then I watched the God, what's Hell of a Boss.
Mm.
And then I was like, I need more. So then I watched all of Has Been Hotel. And then and then I watched this therapist lady break down every single character in both series while cosplaying as them. And then
Send me that link. My God, please send me that
you're
link.
gonna lose so much of your life watching this though, because there's a lot of them.
No, that's fine.
And then she also does the boys and stuff. But I just have it on, and then what's cool is I got a small job this week doing design. I think I mentioned a cookbook for a friend. I'll post a link to it when it goes live. You can buy it on Amazon. So I just did some quick layout for him. But I had it on in the background while I was doing it, just listening to her talk about these characters. It's really interesting. But I watched all of that too. So then, yeah, I need more of the stuff. Like
It's so good. It's so good. Just well written characters, interesting characters, different characters, unique characters. Just they're all good.
so, who do you think controls Alistair?
Oh,
So I think I know, but admittedly, it was the girl. The therapist is like, she was like, I think we know just by watching the show, and I was like, we do. And then she was like, look how obvious this is, you idiot. And I was like, I am an idiot. She didn't say it like that because she's the sweetest person
right.
on earth.
You know what?
You should hear her talk about like when she's talking about what's his name from Has Been Hotel from Hell of a Boss, the couple.
Is it the video guy? Because Alistair's the radio guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the video guy, I would think.
No, because so remember because what's his name? Idris Elba's character, or not Idris Elba, Keith.
Keith David.
Yeah, and he says, big talk for someone who's also like being held by a chain.
Yeah.
Goes, what did you say? And then like, but then so you go, where was like who's doing that?
Right.
And also where was he? But remember, her mom has been gone 7 years. He was gone 7 years. So he's tied to that. And then he comes here and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to protect this hotel. And Lucifer's daughter and everything. He's obviously trying to do it for his own gains, but like, what if it's Lilith?
Maybe
Lilith controls him, like protect that hotel and everything.
Yeah.
And because that's why he's been gone for 7 years, because she's been in heaven she's been missing for 7 years.
Right. I need to rewatch it. It's so good. Yeah. I want to watch this therapist break down all the characters while I clean the garage. Oh, and happy Father's Day to all the pappies out there. Special greetings from the pitch nerds. We are at that moment where I need to get dressed and take the youngling to go do a thing. Let's wrap it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who watch, thanks for watching. For those of you who will tune in at a later date, hello, hi, happy Thursday. What do we do? Like, comment, subscribe, all that nonsense with the algorithms.
Yeah, no. Well, also we like hearing from you guys. We genuinely do.
Yeah,
it's super awesome. And give us feedback on what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see. We're talking about incorporating more of Cap's series Quantum. I came up with a cool idea. I thought maybe you guys would like, where he's like, hey, let's talk because like you were like, oh, like you created a sword for my guy. Like, tell me about it, and then we can and then just like, and maybe we could get people involved and they could like draw it and stuff like that. And we could do like clips and we can do a lot of fun stuff like that. So we'll be coming up with some ideas there. Let us know what you guys would like to see.
End the show with a nerdy quote. Yes.
I'll have a Neapolitan cappuccino, more capo than chino. Make sure it's got no more than 4 ounces of milk. The beans won't have the right texture otherwise. And make sure they spell my name correctly on the cup. They always put Foxy or Roxy. I hate that. If you could handle that, if you can't handle that, I'll have a venti traditional meat. So you please use soy milk with 2 blonde shots of avocado or risotto. Also, I'd love 3 vanilla pumps at the very bottom. Then add the coffee after. Then